Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very, very
Great.
fine.
Okay, can we go on the record, Doug?
We're on the record, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Christine Berg. I'm a public utility law judge with the Maryland Public Service Commission. We're here today for a pre-hearing conference in case number 9698, which is captioned Delmarva Power and Light Company's application for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to rebuild the Vienna-Nelson 138 kilovolt transmission line in Dorchester and Wacomico counties, Maryland. If I could just please start with the appearances of counsel, beginning with the company, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Matthew K. Seegers, appearing for Delmarva Power.
Good afternoon. For PPRP.
Good afternoon, Sandra McLemore, on behalf of the Power Plant Research Program.
Good afternoon. And for OPC.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Michael Sammartino on behalf of Office of People's Counsel.
Good afternoon. And for staff.
Good afternoon, Michael Dean on behalf of staff, and I'd also like to enter the appearance of Kenneth Albert as co-counsel.
Okay, so noted. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for participating virtually today. Sorry for the last minute change. Mr. Seegers, do you have any exhibits that you'd like to offer?
Yes, Your Honor. Yesterday, Delmarva Power, we filed our notice of publication, and I'd like to have that admitted to the evidentiary record as Delmarva Power Exhibit number 1.
Is there any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Seeing no objection, they'll be marked and admitted into the record as Delmarva's Exhibit 1. As far as the notification to adjacent landowners, Mr. Seeger, has there been anything filed?
Yes, that was included in our filing, Your Honor. And the last page of our filing includes the template letter that went out to the adjacent landowners.
Okay, thank you. I wasn't able to access that today. All right, and with regard to petitions to intervene, I'm unable to access our website today. Is anyone aware of any petitions to intervene in the matter?
I am not, Your Honor.
And I see no other indication that anybody else is shaking their heads now.
No, Your Honor.
We'll double check again tomorrow before I issue a notice in this case to make sure that there is not. But as we all know, with the technical difficulties today, I was not able to do so. So I will issue one as soon as possible. With regard to the procedural schedule, I did receive the dates that were proposed by the parties. Mr. Seeger, would you like to run through those dates?
I'd be happy to, Your Honor. For the schedule that was that's been agreed to by the parties, intervener direct testimony will be due on September the 13th, 2023. I would note that that is a conditional date upon it's conditioned upon Delmarva Power submitting to PPRP prior to June 15th the joint permit application, the geotechnical report, and the groundwater appropriation application exemption. We anticipate being able to do so, Your Honor. And assuming that we're able to hold to that date, rebuttal testimony would be due on October the 4th. The evening public comment hearing, we have a placeholder for now, Your Honor. We wanted to ask your preference. We have that would be held no later than October the 10th. Are you okay with that date?
So the only issue that I would have with that is that because it crosses into 2 jurisdictions, I believe we have to have a hearing in both jurisdictions. So both Dorchester and Wacomico. So there would have to be 2 separate hearings.
That's
I don't
correct,
know
Your Honor.
if the parties have a preference as to virtual or in person, or maybe a combination of both. Does anybody want to be heard?
We've done virtual before, Your Honor. So if that's a possibility, that may be easiest.
Okay. So no later than the 10th. Could we say the 10th and the 11th?
Sure.
I think, and then to be determined as to whether virtual or not at this point. Okay. I would like to, if there's no objection, add in between the public comment hearing and evidentiary hearings, a settlement date for status update.
Mhm.
A week before evidentiary hearings, which I believe you have for October the 17th.
That's correct, Your Honor. So a week before would be October the 10th.
Your Honor, one thing, typically it's helpful if we have the status update after the comment period. I mean, the public hearings, so that we can
Okay.
understand any outstanding issues and get an update from the applicant or have an opportunity to discuss it with them.
Okay. Well,
Maybe even the day after. Just
yeah,
you-
or maybe by the end of the week, the 13th, and then we can have the evidentiary hearings still. I mean, that's enough time. I'd rather have about a week in between to give everybody time to deal with that. So if we move just the evidentiary hearings to the 18th and the 19th, and then have settlement status by the 13th, does that work?
That works, Your
Yes, Your
Honor.
Honor.
That works for OPC, Your Honor.
Staff? Is there any,
For staff, also,
okay. And then Mr. Seegers, do you want to continue?
Yes, Your Honor. So we would have the public comment hearing. We can target the early that week. And then we would have the settlement conference on October the 13th. The evidentiary hearings.
Yeah, that
Sorry,
doesn't
go
need
ahead,
to
Your
be
Honor.
a hearing. It's just a status update. So informal, we don't have to set an actual hearing date for the status.
Understood, Your Honor. Status update. Okay.
And Your Honor, do you want something just written to you?
That's fine,
Okay.
by way of email, just to let me know.
Okay.
Whether,
Okay.
what the contested issues are.
Sure. And then we have, so the evidentiary hearings would begin on October the 18th, I believe Your Honor
Yes,
said.
18th and
And
19th.
and the 19th. I'm just checking my calendar to make sure there's no, that those are both, yes, that's a Wednesday and a Thursday. So, okay. Initial briefs would be due on October the 31st. Reply briefs would be due November the 13th. And proposed order, this is obviously up to Your Honor's discretion, but we have a target date of December the 4th, Your Honor.
One other question I just had, all of that sounds fine. The question about the conditional submission,
Mhm.
the Delmarva with the for direct testimony. The parties would need to notify me at some, by June 15th, whether or not those submissions were made. In that case, we would have to revisit the procedural schedule.
Understood, Your Honor. Yes, yes, and we will do so.
And Your Honor, the reason for that is this is a very expedited schedule for us, and we just have to make sure we have all the information by that date.
Yep, understood. Okay. And as far as discovery, there was also an agreement.
Yes, Your Honor. The parties have agreed that prior to September the 13th, responses to discovery requests will be due within 7 business days of service. And then after September the 13th, responses to discovery requests shall be due within 5 business days.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for submitting the proposed schedule.
Yep.
Are there any other outstanding issues that we need to deal with right now?
I don't have any, Your Honor.
Okay.
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
From OPC, Your Honor.
Thank you. And staff?
no, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, everybody. There will be a notice, procedural schedule issued shortly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Go off the record. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
We're
Your
off the
Honor.
record, Your Honor. Thank you.